Hello, Aquarius. I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with the highest good. What I'm seeing is that there's a bit of an unclear situation that you find yourself in. So it may be like, how do I move forward? Or what am I supposed to do here? Just something is unclear, or like, I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about this, or what's the right move to make here. Whatever this is, I'm seeing that even though, like, logically you may not have something making sense, you leaning as far into your intuition as possible is going to help you get through this. So it may be something that you can't apply logic to this, and you're solely gonna have to apply intuition to this process, because I'm seeing you be very, very connected. It's just a matter of you trusting that, and trusting that that's going to be like even more accurate than the logic that your ego comes up with too, because it can see like above and beyond that, like the way that your higher self sees, the way that the high priestess sees, which is your connection with your higher self and that communication back and forth. It can like see through walls, and above and beyond all of that, where your ego can just like see what's in the room, like within the four walls. Your higher self sees dimensions above and beyond. And so the advice that you get from that, it may not be linear. It may be like, well, I am not able to like logically make sense of that. But if it just makes sense, or if you know that that's the advice that you're being given, that that's the guidance that you're being given, even if it doesn't make logical sense to you, it's about following that before it necessarily makes sense, because it will be making sense to you, but doing it so like in baby steps. So you don't always have to understand, you just need to trust that it's going to make sense and build out to something. And your higher self is always like rooting for what's in alignment with your highest good as well. So it's also about letting that resonate within you. I'm seeing there be a focus on where exactly you're channeling your energy. I'm seeing something feel like a bit of a challenge, but why? It's like a very steep hill that you're climbing currently. What's making this more difficult is you not trusting yourself. And when I say, I mean this in like a general way, these can be like thoughts of doubt that are coming up for you, or like, it has to do with like what you're capable of and what you're able to do. Because I'm seeing you be super, super capable here. I'm seeing your like brain power and your willpower be very, very strong. I'm seeing you have like a lot of energy that you're able to exert, like when and if and how you want to. And what I'm seeing is that like your mental power and your ability to create and your ability to manifest, I'm seeing you be just very capable. You have everything that you need. I'm not seeing you be at a lack for resources that you need to be able to do this. So if you don't have something, it's because you don't need it in order to accomplish whatever this is. But there are these like thoughts of doubt that come up, and it's like, really though? Do you really have everything that you need? Are you really able to manifest that? It's something like this. Like, are you really that creative? Like questioning yourself. But it's just your shadow. It's just like insecurities popping up. I'm not seeing that be the reality, because I'm like, your guides are showing you as being very, very capable of being able to do whatever this is. I'm seeing you be very smart. I'm seeing you be very present. I'm seeing you have everything that you need. That's not a question. Whether this be something internally, whether this be something externally, you have everything. Okay? But that I'm seeing doubt start to creep up and be like, is it really so? Like, is that true? maybe we should rethink this. Shouldn't you question yourself? Stuff like that, where it's like, why are we going in that direction? Be mindful of whose energy you're connecting with and allowing to influence you as well. You want to be around people, places, things that feel encouraging and supportive, okay? You just going with your gut is really going to help you out with this, because I'm seeing you opening up into a new chapter. I'm hearing Newfoundland. I'm also hearing newfound freedom. Yeah, what I'm seeing is that sometimes we get put sort of in an obstacle course, okay? And there are things that we have to deal with. Sometimes it's like outer pressure, outer influences. We can perceive it to be that. What I'm seeing right now is this is just a mental challenge right now that you're going through. So it's all an internal one right now that you're moving through. How you're going to master this, your mind. How you're going to transmute. Because I'm seeing that be the biggest challenge here, is this like feeling and believing and knowing that you can do this, knowing that you are capable of doing this, of making this happen, that you like have that energy and you know how to wield it as well. So yeah, I'm just seeing like this thing mentally, whatever this is that's been whispering in your ear, I'm seeing that really be the challenge right here for you to get through this. But I'm seeing that you're going to be. You just trust your gut and move through it. I'm not seeing this be a point where you need to be questioning yourself. You may be questioning yourself, but I'm seeing that's really not necessary here. Your guides are like, go through, like just run through the whole thing. I'm seeing you got this here. So there's nothing that you need to doubt. You don't need to question. I'm seeing it's just like kind of delaying you. Like what's going on here. It's sort of tripping you up. Like something grabbing your feet as you're trying to run through. So just like hop over it and keep going. You don't need to look back. You just keep moving forward. This means also like you don't need to worry about what's behind you, and you don't need to worry about what's too far ahead of you. You just face things as they are present. So only deal with what's right in front of you in that moment. That's also really going to help you here too. Because if you're so worried about like that wall that you're gonna have to jump, that like 3-foot wall that you're gonna have to jump over, that's like 20 feet away, you may miss like the 2-foot wall that's even smaller, that's like right in front of you in 1 foot, and you're about to trip over that because you're too focused on what's over there. And it's like, if you just take everything as it comes, it's gonna make this much easier for you. I'm also hearing that it's gonna make this much more practical for you. So that's just what needs to happen. You don't need to think too far ahead. You just deal with what's right in front of you when it pops up, okay? Because who even knows? When you like get to that thing that's 20 feet away, you know, it may look very different than you've been perceiving it out here. And it may not even be something that you just like used that energy for all of that when you could have used it for what was right in front of you. And you didn't even need to exert all of that. Because perceptively it may appear a lot differently when it gets closer up, you know? Maybe less of a problem, it may be a bigger thing, you know? You never know what's happening. So just face what's right in front of you and don't be overwhelming yourself. Because I'm seeing just something feel like a lot mentally for you, and you don't need to be in that spot. It's not necessary for this process. So it's reminding yourself of that too. I don't need to make this bigger than it is. I don't need to be overwhelming myself here, because I'm seeing there be a bit of overwhelm mentally for you that may come through and start feeling like you're stumbling backwards a little bit, because like the self-sabotage is starting to creep through. So just take everything as it comes. Best advice for you right now as you're moving through this currently. It's going to help you see things more clearly. And it's going to help like focus and channel your energy just to what's right in front of you, so you feel like it's easier to problem solve when you're facing something immediately. Okay? I'm hearing you're going to know what to do. What is this? Why do we have the Five of Cups here? Something emotionally is feeling a bit heavy for you. I'm seeing something that you feel a bit worried about. There may be something that it's like feeling like a bit of a struggle to come to terms with. Can be. I'm seeing this new beginning, this new chapter for you. It feels bittersweet is the vibe of this. Because Ace of Pentacles is like, Chariot and the Ace of Pentacles is like, yeah, I really worked hard to get here. But then to have the Five of Cups follow, is kind of looking at this thing and being like, this does feel very bittersweet for some reason. And that's sort of what's triggering what's going on for you mentally, is what I'm getting as well. You could also be like, I wish that I had done this differently. I wish that I had done that differently. Like there's something about like what you created and like what you've been manifesting, and you may be looking at it and being like, I don't know, just feeling a type of way about what you were doing, but why? You can't change anything now anyway, and it was what you wanted at the time too. So there's nothing to even regret, because you were just acquiescing what you wanted. Like yourself, we can say. So why regret it too? Like, and even if you're going through something challenging now, which I'm seeing that you are, emotionally speaking, you didn't waste any time or anything like that. You could be like, oh, I wish that I didn't do this, or like, why did I have to spend my time doing that when I could have done this over there, or whatever, something like that. But it's like, you needed that experience. That's why you manifested it. So you didn't like waste anything by doing that. That experience was necessary. You only manifest necessary experiences. So it was just as necessary. Just because something doesn't work out, it doesn't mean it wasn't necessary to experience that. You may think, oh, like that was a failed mission or a failed whatever, but it actually wasn't. It was a success. That's why you manifested it. But you may be associating, like in your head, you may be like, success is only success if this would have lasted for 3 years, or if this would have done that, or if I could have stayed here forever. But really, on a higher spiritual level, you succeeded with what you did here. But you, from an ego standpoint, you may be looking back at it and being like, I wish that I didn't do that, or if I had done this differently, or I don't know, just stuff coming to light like that. But it was a success. So, no regrets if you can get yourself to that spot. Yeah, you're letting go of this too because it wasn't aligned with what you wanted. And you know that being in that space any longer would just sabotage what you really want. But you may be in a spot too where you're like, but I wish the situation was fulfilling. I wish it was what I wanted. I wish it could be that for me, but it's not. But some of you may be like, let's just use an example to make this simple, okay? Let's say that you invested in something emotionally, and now you made this happen too. Like, you are the magician, you have manifested this thing, like your intention was for this thing to work out. And you invested in this mentally, emotionally, okay? Some of it was like taxing a bit for some of you as you went through this, and now you're like, but it's not working out, or this isn't going to be a lasting thing. Like, you could have maybe gotten together with somebody, and now you're in a spot where you're like, did I just like waste that investment of my emotions and my energy on this thing that isn't really what I want, or that's not aligned with me, like on a deeper level, and it's not aligned with what's really going to fulfill me? And you could be looking at that and being like, wow, like what a waste of my time, what a waste of my energy. But it wasn't. You needed that experience. That's why you manifested it. So even though something may not be working out, like, do not regret it. it gave you an experience that was necessary for you, that your spirit was like, hey, I'm trying to have this experience here. So it was a success from that perspective. Even though you may be, I don't know, some of you may be like, well, I took this opportunity and missed out on that one, but it was because that other thing you weren't meant to be doing that, and this thing you were meant to be doing that, and that's what happened. So this is about getting into a space of fully accepting things as they are, because I'm seeing like a lot of really great stuff just waiting for you to seize. It's just been like waiting for you to sort of pass through this experience so you can go on to something that may feel a bit more pleasant for you. Yeah, so don't get in your head and get down on yourself for this and be like, I should have done something differently or done this over here or whatever. You did everything exactly as you were meant to play it out, okay? You made all the choices that you were meant to make, all of that stuff. So don't get in your head and be thinking that. Because I'm seeing that be like the voice of your self-sabotage and your shadow coming up and being like, we should have turned left back there instead of right. But it's like, nope, you were supposed to go exactly where you went, okay? So reassure yourself, please, as a favor from you to you. And yeah, this chapter may be, this like new opening, this new chapter for you, it may feel a bit bittersweet, but as soon as you turn around from the past and you focus on where you are right now, you see the 9 of Cups. You go from the 5 of Cups, which is like not fully in acceptance of things as they are. And then as soon as you turn around, it's the 9 of Cups, which is like, wow, my dream's right in front of me. Something that I can seize. So don't sabotage and just be so focused on the past that you don't see what's right in front of you. Be present. It's going to be as helpful to you. It's going to be very helpful to you. Right now, I'm seeing you just be really focused on yourself, really focused with getting in touch with how you're feeling and just doing you currently. And moving through something challenging mentally and emotionally. Okay, but you got this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.